starting soon.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
All right, we're back. What's up, guys? How are you doing? Doing all right? Good. See that we don't have a ton of people here yet, so that's cool. That's all right. Got some new elements I'm working with in the on the intro to the show and whatnot, and still working with lighting and stuff in here. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's going to be good. Really good. Got a lot to talk about today. It's been a hell of a weekend. A lot of good stuff. If you missed it last night, the Brian Shapiro, Andrew Wilson debate was fucking legit. Gonna be crazy. I walked away for 2 hours, an hour and a half. And Shapiro was still repeating the same nonsense when I came back as when I left. It was crazy. Just nuts. Just insane. But if you haven't seen it, you got to go watch it. I think at one point in time, Andrew had about somewhere between 11 and 12,000 live on YouTube alone. I think he had 14,000 peak viewers. It's crazy. Crazy. That's amazing. Good job, Andrew, man. Like, say what you will. He's doing it. So, yeah, it's all very interesting. We got a lot of stuff going on out there that happened over the weekend, and obviously the Epstein files. Excuse me. Obviously the Epstein file release, and then which is every time they release these Epstein files, I start looking around to see what I'm missing. What's going on out there that I'm not seeing, that that they're trying to distract the American public from noticing, right? Like, you guys probably don't do that. It's probably just me, but I do that. I do that for sure. And so one of the interesting things, and I'm still digging into it. I don't know that I get too far into it right now, but it looks like there's a deal going on between the Trump White House and Israel to about $6 billion dollars. Sorry guys, I have to respond really quick. And it seems like, I apologize about that, guys. It looks like I'll be on Prime Kai's tonight, doing the debate over there. I'll get to that in a minute. I just had to respond really quickly, so just no worries. So Trump apparently has gotten a 6-point-something billion dollar deal, arms deal with Israel. Now, the way that was portrayed this morning on almost all social media, right? Yeah, that's Glenn. That's what it was. Oh, don't tell them we're giving them $6 billion. No, they're buying $6 billion worth of weapons from us, right? So it's an arms deal. It seems to be working now. Well, that was crazy, man. That was nuts. I'm going to close some windows here. Maybe that's part of the problem. That was pretty crazy. Looks like I'm back. All right, good. All right, so the sale is all right. Anyway, so we're giving them a bunch of Apache helicopters. We're giving them a bunch of Koala light helicopters. We're selling them some light attack vehicles, which are they're the old Joint Light tactical vehicles, which are the replacement for the Humvee that we didn't really like. And those are 1.98 billion. And now this is separate from the current $9 billion Patriot missile deal approved for Saudi Arabia and aligns with foreign policy objectives to support the Israeli defense in amid conflicts like Palestine, Gaza. And we can't forget about Iran, pardon me. So, yep. And, yep. So that's that. The negotiated good deals, a zero-sum profit. I don't think that it's true. I don't think that we're giving them, I don't believe that we're giving them money or giving them stuff for our money back. I don't think that's how that works, but we could be. But at any rate, I don't have a problem with it. We're selling everybody weapons right now, guys. I don't know if you realize this, but right now we've currently got deals going on for F-35s to Japan and maybe Poland and somewhere else. I forget who else is getting F-35s. We're selling Patriot systems along with what's the other one? Javelins to Poland. Again, we sold them some 2 years ago. Now we're selling them some more. Poland's like East Texas, like far East Texas. And then we're selling, I think we're also selling missiles to South Korea. We sold submarines to Australia. We're selling a lot of old weapon systems or older weapon systems to other countries who obviously don't have a defense budget to build them themselves. We gave them $3 billion for the past several years that I'm sure that they've spent, but yeah, I don't think it's a zero-sum game. I do think that it's interesting that no matter what deal we strike with Israel, there's always somebody that's got a negative connotation to it. It's very interesting to me. I don't really care one way or the other. And I think that we overbuild all of these things, right? We have so many of these joint light tactical vehicles that we need to sell them to somebody. And it's interesting. It's just really interesting. But I think that's what the Epstein deal is to be, or the Epstein release is one of the things that is supposed to distract us from. I think that there's also other things that need to be distracted from. I just haven't found them yet. I'm looking. There's got to be some other big stuff going on out there that they needed to release the Epstein files. It also looks like Trump's Justice Department has just seized a bunch of documents in Georgia last week. So, and let me see how many. It was. I got that here too. Give me 1 second. I've got it. So basically, and we're going to debate this tonight over on Prime Kai's. The FBI conducted a raid against the Fulton County Elections Office in Atlanta, Georgia. This is part of the ongoing probe into alleged irregularities in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Critics have said this is an attempt to intimidate voters for the upcoming midterms. I don't know how that would be. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you could get there. I don't think we can. I do believe that I think the FBI especially is tired of pussyfooting. I think they're really tired. I think the FBI especially is under Patel is really tired of just not doing anything and just kind of sitting around on their hands watching all of this shit go on. I think they want to do something. Unfortunately, I don't know that this is the right thing for them to do, but at least they're doing something besides sitting on their hands. I've read a bunch of different opinions and observations about the Georgia unsigned or unrecognized ballots, how they're actually valid ballots, and they just weren't signed off on, or what, and it's already been investigated and all of this. I've read that. I don't know that that's true. What's up, Avoided Hornet? How are you? Not really sure that that's a valid thing. The FBI had probable cause and the threshold was high for it. Yeah, that's true. Also, over 20 judges were arrested for ties to cartels. I did not see that. But again, every time an Epstein file release is conducted, and I just start looking for what we're not supposed, what we need to be distracted from. And I can usually find 5 or 6 things that if people were actually paying attention, they'd have a real problem with. One of the things, for example, is we've got judges that are being arrested for ties to cartel and other misdoings or illicit acts. What's up, Brandon? How are you? Ray's Moto Life is in the house. This is, I always, again, once there's always got to be something that I'm getting distracted from when they release these Epstein files. To be honest with you, at this point, I don't even really care what's in them. I think it's I mean, basically, all it proves is powerful men fuck women. That's all it says to me. They've not been able to really prove anything. There's a lot of accusation, a lot of assumptions, a lot of nonsense. But I think it's mostly distraction. And to be honest with you, it's nothing. Powerful men fucking women is nothing new. I mean, hell, Bill Clinton did it in the White House. I don't know. JFK had a secret tunnel built so he could go bang chicks. Well, maybe he didn't have it built, but he used it. Right. So why do I really care about this? Why do I really care? And then, of course, you've got, Brian Shapiro last night, who couldn't identify one person. They couldn't name one person. Although the one thing that he did do is he did talk about the woman who came forward in 2016 and made an accusation against Trump. And that accusation was depending on how you want to look at it, that accusation was not allowed to proceed, and then it was withdrawn. It wasn't allowed to proceed because Katie Johnson didn't exist. The attorneys for Katie Johnson made an attempt to say that this was an alias being used by some girl who, and to protect her identity. They never could produce the woman. They were never able to verify her identity. And so the judge said, no, you can't do that. We're going to have to make it work. Later on, Katie Johnson made another appearance. And again, when the judges and the prosecutors looked into it, they could not verify that this person was even a person. To this day, the FBI, who, by the way, that was Biden's FBI, not Trump's, Biden's FBI. Nobody's been able to even verify that this Katie Johnson person ever existed. So as near as I can tell, it's complete fabrication that has become a narrative that's been repeated over and over again, that all I need to do is just start reading the accusation, and then I go, yeah, this is just another nothing burger. What's up, Sage Overcast? I see you out there. How's your TDS doing? You take anything for that yet? You okay? You okay out there? Don't don't get in trouble. I think I read this already. FBI had probable cause, and the threshold was high for it. Also, 20 judges were arrested for ties to cartels. Absolutely, that's true. Now we don't know. I mean, now they're talking ties. This, they're following money, they're following favors, they're following up on various communications, and we'll see if this has enough teeth to bite and stick in. But we'll see. What's up, Ghost? Good to see you. How are you, sir? Yes, absolutely, guys. Remember to hit the like. We'll talk more. Yes, lots of TDS. Yeah, he's. I hope you're taking something for that, so that you can get better. At any rate, so Shapiro got absolutely destroyed yesterday in the debate with Andrew, because like everybody else on the planet, there's nothing you can. There's no evidence at all. Period. End of list. They always and guys like Sage in the chat right now, he'll default to, well, he was convicted, but no, he wasn't actually. Being found liable in a civil trial is not the same as as being found guilty in a criminal trial. Over on Twitch, Mossy Adventures says, welcome, Mossy Adventures. I don't know you. Good to see you. Show us the Epstein files. Yes, absolutely. Please show us all of them. And then of course, you've got guys running around saying, and I had a conversation with someone about this the other night. His name's in there. Trump's name is in there mentioned. Well, originally he said thousands of times, and he backed down to hundreds of times. And I'm like, yes, absolutely he is. He's mentioned by the investigators and as part of the investigation. He's not mentioned in Epstein's emails hundreds of times. That's ridiculous. Also, Shapiro made the allegation that Epstein and Trump were best buddies, which we know is not true. Is it the same when you hear Trump saying he walks into changing rooms of teens? So I have not actually heard that. If you can produce that, that'd be great. I'd like to have that. So yeah. Show that. Yes, Derek Chauvin was wrongly convicted. Innocent are convicted in our legal system all too often. Yeah, that's right. It's very funny. Democrats have this pattern of compiling lies as a whole, as if a bunch of accusations were proof of anything. The felon narrative lie, the Carroll lie, the 2020 was legit lie, which is why GA scares them. Yeah, Georgia should scare them, because to be honest with you, Georgia should really scare all of the lefties who have been holding on to this mantra that there was no election interference at all. But when we know that there was at least some, we do know that, right? Like even under Biden, the FBI came out and says, well, there's always some sign of election interference, right? Always some. It's a question of how much. Was it enough to move the results? That's the question. That's always the question. And nobody wants the answer to that question in this case. And in other elections, we have pursued that question to the ends of the earth. Now, what good will it do? That's the biggest question I have. To be honest with you, I'm at the point where I don't even care. If we find out the election was rigged, all that really proves is that Donald Trump was right. And we, you know, and conservatives who have said there's something fishy about this election will be vindicated. Does it change anything? No, it really doesn't. It won't. Nobody will get prosecuted. Well, a couple of low-level people will get prosecuted. The politicians will duck, dodge, and dive some more, and that'll be the end of it. It's not. I don't think it's going to move the needle. What's up, Anson Knowles? How are you? Good to see you. And so I just feel like that. Hang on, I got a video from Twitch. I got a vet. Stand by. Stand by. I gotta get the volume up. Hang on. Stand by, guys. Yeah, so I don't know. All right, so that's interesting. Hold on. Mossy Adventures sent me this. It's the where Trump says that he goes backstage, and he says there are no men there, but we all know that there are men there. Look, I've been to beauty pageants before. There are women changing all the time. None of them are running around naked, and if they are, I guess they're comfortable with that. I don't know. I've been backstage at various pageants, and we have Glenn Lawrence here as well, who'll tell you the same thing. You're conflating a damn near public event. That's hilarious. But okay, cool. Not women teens. Well, there are women back there too. There are adults back there, right? Also, merely walking through a dressing room that's open and there's a bunch of people milling around, no expectation of actual privacy. I think you're conflating there. I could be wrong. I'm not in the movie business, but Glenn Lawrence is, and he may still be in the chat. Glenn, I need your opinion here. Most of them have robes on. Probably. I don't know. I don't know about that. Glenn, are you still here, buddy? I need an answer on this, because I look, I've only been behind backstage a few times. Grackle -US says it exposes a pretty major flaw if no mechanism exists to stop a falsely elected president from taking office and setting the entire world on fire like Biden did. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Anson Knowles says he feels great, been lifting 3 days a week, eating whole foods and sleeping full nights. In a year, I'll be jacked like I was before. How am I? I'm actually doing well. I actually hit the gym this morning. Normally, I've been doing gym midday or in the evening, and I find that leaves me a little tired through the rest of the day. It doesn't. I get like really. I go work out. I get really like pumped for a little while, and then my energy level kind of falls off. But now I'm back to working out in the mornings, and that seems to be the best way for me. 90% of the time, yes, the leftist for receipts, they fail miserably. That's probably true. I don't know if that's true. I don't really care. I'm gonna have to text Glenn, tell him pop back in, because I'm not an expert on backstage shenanigans. Stand by, guys. I apologize. This is terribly unprofessional. All right, there we go. I'm done with being an unexceptionable white. Nice. Go be exceptional, my man. Go be exceptional. I like how I get more lefties in here than ever before. It's so good. It's so good. But again, yes, Brian Shapiro got absolutely cooked, railroaded. You know, it was bad. It was so bad, so bad. And then I was watching another, and this was an older Andrew stream this morning. I was listening to it in the gym because there was nobody on live. I used to could listen to Glenn Lawrence or somebody else that was on live early, and I could listen to him while I was working out. But this morning, I found that nobody was on at all. So I found this old Andrew Wilson versus some moron, and it was terrible. You know, and it was basically it was an observation on force doctrine and how the guy could not actually come to terms with the guy couldn't come to terms or grip with the fact that rights don't exist. Like he just like mentally it broke his fucking brain for that. Mozzie Adventures says, I mean, not a lot of people can say their picture was on display in Jeffrey Epstein's home or send deplorable birthday cards to not his friend. Yeah, I don't. What's your point exactly? Epstein I think Epstein really wanted to be Trump's buddy. Trump was a very influential person, always has been. Lots of people. What's up, Marte? How are you doing, man? You have a good weekend? Man, I hope that you were able to like get some peace after that debacle the other night. I felt real bad for you and Dusty, but mostly for you because you were, it just wasn't what we were looking for out of that, and I really felt bad, man. It should not have gone down that way. You haven't done a live today because you were at the doctor at 8 o'clock this morning. Damn the bad luck. What's up, World Radio? It says, good morning, guys. Good morning to you, World Radio. Good morning to you. Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Nobody cares that Madani's mom was like super hot, good buddies with Epstein. Could have also been a recruiter, you know. I am annoyed with people on the right, though. Look, we need to stop, and it could have been a leftist, but what we need to do is we need to stop this AI slop of putting, 14 or 15-year-old Mondami with his mom and a made-up picture of Epstein, Clinton, and all these other, and Elon Musk and all these other people. Just stop the slop, man. It's just not good. It's not really right. Stephen Akari says rights and laws do exist. They just don't prevent bad behavior in and of themselves. No, no rights exist absent the barrel of a gun. And this is, it's just like, if you argue with the libertarian long enough, they'll talk about the nap, they'll talk about all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if I say, what if I just really don't want to? Well, I'll call my insurance company. Okay, well, what if I tell your insurance company to go piss up a fucking rope? Well, then they'll take care of it. Well, how are they going to take care of it? Well, they're going to have guys with guns come and enforce it. So we're right back to where we started. Might as well just shortcut all that bullshit and just have a nice, efficient system. So there you go. Gabapentin. What the fuck is gabapentin? Does it bother you at all that Trump tore down part of the White House without following the legal channels? Not really. Because I don't know that he did that. All I have is claims from people who are not Trump fans. So, protesters showed up at the mayor's house saying they supported him and he needs to leave. Interesting. I did not see that. I did not see that. Oh, medication for nerve pain, gabapentin. Oh, wow. I don't, guys. I don't take. You know, I'm not familiar with a lot. I honestly have not had a lot of medication. Hey, World Radio. Looks like World Radio just subscribed. Thank you so much. Mr. says Democrats crying about legal issues when they created sanctuary cities in violation of 4 federal laws is laughable. That's true. That's true. Have you seen this, guys, with the SBR laws? Now that the suppressors, and the tax stamp on SBR. Yes, I did. Glenn, before I get into the other thing here. So what I have this guy over on Twitch, and he's very unhappy. He thinks that it's very weird for Donald Trump, who owned the Miss America pageant, to walk backstage in the, of course, we all understand that in a pageant backstage, there are women running around in various stages of undress. And he thinks that that's very odd. And I said, well, I've been backstage, and I know that these people seem very comfortable being in various stages of undress, and they do have places where they go actually disrobe. But a lot of them will just wander out, with whatever. And so I wanted your observation. You're a professional. You've been to a part of the entertainment industry for some time, and I just want your honest to God observation. He had Vivica A. Fox strip right in front of me to change her wardrobe. Now they were talking about they were talking about apparently some of these women were teens. Now we don't know, because I didn't think the Miss America pageant yet. I thought you had to be 18 to be in the Miss America pageant. I'm not sure about that. I'm not aware of Trump owning the junior Miss America pageant or anything, or having anything to do with that. I'm just talking about the claims. Does that change anything, Glenn? Let me know. Teen USA pageant is what they're talking about, is what he's claiming. I don't know that, again, I don't know that that's true or untrue. Glenn, please provide me with your observations on that as a professional in the entertainment business, movies and such. The White House is a monument. It must be protected, say the people who destroy monuments. That is fucking irony. In my hometown, actually, I believe that some statues of Robert E. Lee, who's one of the greatest human beings to have ever lived, were removed and placed into storage. What's up, Vibe? How the hell are you? How the hell is Vibe today? So there we go. Yeah, we just, Mossy Adventures is apparently a liberal, maybe not a leftist. I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt that he's a leftist. And so I guess the question here I have, Mossy Adventures, is if there was some untoward things going on there, you had parents involved, and every single, and my understanding is in these pageants, there's always, especially with teenagers and younger girls, there's always these, it's the word I'm looking for here, like a chaperone. It's not really a chaperone. Somebody in the chat will provide this for me. Those girls are never really left alone with anyone because of issues that could happen like this, and other things too. It's not just the sexual aspect of it, but people attack these girls because they don't like them. There's some safety concerns, because they become targets of people who just hate successful people. So I would really, I'd really like to understand what your exact problem is and what the context is. If there were adults there, if their parents were there, I'm not sure that I see a problem with this. Glenn says, so I know Miss America, you have to be at least 18. So you're an adult. For Miss America teen, you're 14 up to 18. But when it comes to dealing with minors on set, yes, an advocate. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. Minors have an advocate there with them on set. They're not running around half-dressed with their titties out. There you go. Yes, correct. An advocate. That's exactly what I was trying to think of, because that's my experience as well. But I didn't want to, I needed a professional. Minors always have an advocate and or a sponsor. When were advocates implemented into this? I think it's been a part since the beginning. But keep reaching. Keep reaching. Come on. Come on. Anson wants to know why you have him blocked on your channel, Glenn. That's Anson Knowles. This was pre-2005. He says, keep reaching. Doesn't mean there's a nefarious reason. I'm sure other men have been backstage. I would assume that there's tons of women present. Yes, there's always tons of fucking women present. Yeah. So anyway, where was I? I had a point I was going to before I got kind of sidetracked. Oh, anyway, guys. So while we're talking and while we're kind of in a holding pattern, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. tomorrow Central Standard Time, we will have Kita Bussy here on the show. Gun Prattle will be tomorrow. The live recording, I will then edit it and release it on Wednesday. That's true. I didn't know that. If that's true, I didn't know that. The advocate doesn't exist in professional sports like gymnastics. As a matter of fact, a lot of them are closed gym where parents aren't even allowed. That's interesting vibe. Thank you for that. But the pageants, I think, are different. It could be wrong. That's interesting in pros in sports like gymnastics. Yeah. Anyway, guys, Kita Bussy, who's been on the show before. However, she'll be back. Yeah, that's how Larry Nassar got away with it. Right. Correct. Right. Yeah. But we're not talking about gymnastics. We're talking, if he had been talking about gymnastics, I've been like, yeah, I could honestly see that, obviously Larry Nassar was a horrible person. We also know that, and I can't remember the guy's name, but let me see. I've got a clip here. Do I have the clip? I don't know if I've got the clip here. Let me see. We don't have the clip. I don't have the clip just readily at hand. Give me 1 second, guys. It's a great clip. I got to put it out there because it's, it's such a good one. So let me just give me 1 sec, guys. I have a clip here. It's going to be well worth the wait. Well worth the wait. Because, well, I said so. That's why. But again, guys, remember, Kita Bussy will be here. March of 1984. So Kita will be here on tomorrow, 2 p.m., from 180 Firearms Training. She teaches movement to help you move through stages better. She teaches how to, she gives you a lot, she gives people advice on how to move through stages better, how to be more dynamic as you choose to, or as you shoot, as you are shooting stages and whatnot, and it's really good. So that's not what I wanted. That's weird. Let me try this again. And so it'll, yeah, so it's gonna be great. You guys will really like it. So if you don't know who Kita is, Kita is Kita is a wonderful human being who is she's been a really good friend. Huh, that's weird. Keeps doing that. We'll just do it in a different way.
March of 1984, when authorities escorted 25-year-old Jeffrey.
So weird. Keeps doing that. That's all right. We'll do it. You know what? We'll just do it this way. It's way easier. So what when we talk about kids sports, you always have the risk of this happening, right?
March of 1984, when authorities escorted 25-year-old Jeffrey Doucette through the Baton Rouge airport to face charges of kidnapping and sexual assault on a 12-year-old boy. The victim's father suddenly appeared, shot Doucette while news cameras were rolling.
Mikey got a strike? What? Mikey Balls got a strike? No. That's crazy. Why would Mikey get a strike? That's crazy. Let's take a look at this. I'm trying to understand why this is important. This is just a standard case here. Yeah, this is just, why do I care about these morons? I guess they're starting to put them in bulletproof underwear though, so they can't be killed. Grand Designs. Why do I care about that? Those guys. I don't know why I care. Help me out with that. I do agree, Grand Designs. It's very interesting what we're finding out about Bill Gates and some of the other people who are directly mentioned in the files. It's very interesting the way that Melinda Gates apparently, or the reason Melinda Gates allegedly divorced her husband. Yet I don't I don't believe I don't believe this information is a direct. I don't believe that information is like directly from Trump or anything else. Trump is directly mentioned by whom? By whom? You guys keep saying this stuff, but you just don't. It's just like Shapiro yesterday. Shapiro's like, oh, yeah, this is it. Yeah, youth sports is now. You left out now. Highly on guard to prevent nonsense like that. I coached my son's hockey team, and they were on us. All sorts of training and rules protect the kids. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So, 100%. Yes, the FBI, as part of their investigation, wrote down a lot of things that may or may not be true. Idiot. What's up, Buddha, man? It's been a minute. Hadn't seen you. All right, so I was distracted while I was trying to talk about Keita being on tomorrow for Gun Prattle. Keita Bussey, I'm not sure. I think it's Bussey. Keita will be on tomorrow, and she teaches movement and exercise stuff, starting, stopping, how to do things while you're on stage shooting. That's going to be on Gun Prattle tomorrow at 2:00 live. And then, of course, I will edit it and put both and then put it on the VOD as well. I will put the edited version out Wednesday. Vibe says, I am really interested in which rich fucks actually protect fully knowing what was going on with Epstein. Can you not spell Kash Patel? It's Kash. I hate to be pedantic, but I am. It's just the thing I got. My argument is I can't believe the information that we got from Biden's FBI, who investigated for the last 4 years. Patel's agents didn't write this shit. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is exactly the problem with the left. They're like, no, it's not Biden's FBI for the last 4 years. It's now all of a sudden it's Kash Patel. This is why nobody takes you seriously. You could be intellectually honest. Yeah, it's Kash. It's a small thing. This is why nobody takes leftists seriously. You can be intellectually honest and say, yeah, I'm just aware that Biden's FBI is when it compiled these millions of pages, right? And they were 100% trying to find something on DJT to keep him from running, which they didn't. And now Kash Patel is releasing all this stuff as he's directed to do in its entirety with all of their notes involved. But their notes aren't legal testimony. Why can't you guys be intellectually honest? You can't. I am. I'm like, I don't know what to believe. I don't believe everything that's coming out about the Epstein files right now. And if honestly, you don't either, right? Remember all the people who were coping about Bill Clinton in the last release? Oh, no. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's it. Leftists don't know how to handle the snow beaver. I don't know what that means. Happy Groundhog Day, but not because when incompetent lefty leaders unalive to groundhog, we always get 6 more weeks of winter. That's funny. Biden under FBI is still establishment. That's true. That's true. Still establishment. And the establishment really, really, really wants to get rid of DJT, which, I mean, I don't know why they even give a shit. He's going to be gone in 3.5 years or 3 years and some days. Whatever. All right. Now, where was I? Yes, tomorrow Keita Bussey will be here. It's gonna be awesome. The guys, remember when we had her on the first time, which is 6 or 8 months ago. One of the guys that goes with her when she trains all these people, Steve, whatever. He spoke so much, and she barely said anything. So this is all about Kita. Kita's an author. She's written children's books. She's written several books about, training, movement, and that sort of thing. You can buy those on Amazon. She's super awesome, and I can't wait to have her on the show tomorrow. It's going to be great. So tell all your buddies and bring a friend. It's going to be really good. The groundhog identified as a beaver this year. We're good. Don't mention beaver around Anson. He's on testosterone right now. He's jacked up. DJT equals the establishment. We need to update our programming. Maybe. That could be it. It could be. Do I have any comments about a possible war with Iran? Nah, I mean, I don't. Yes. I mean, I do. I think Iraq is a real fucking mess. I'm really, really hoping that we can stay out of it as much as possible. However, it looks like we're not going to be able to, and for several reasons. I personally do not like the idea of getting into a war with Iran or Iraq at all. I don't like the idea of fighting on opposite. I really don't like the idea of going right back to the sandbox and having yet another generation of young men fighting this in the same sandbox that their fathers, their brothers, their grandfathers, their uncles. We now have 3 generations since 2001 that have fought nonstop, basically, in the freaking sandbox. And I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Trump can keep us out of it. I'm a non-interventionist, so I don't believe in intervening at all. I hope Trump, I hope Trump, kind of follows his normal path of fuck those guys, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe not. So if Trump starts a war there, I'd be frustrated with his choices. Yeah, absolutely I would. Why would I not be? I'm a non-interventionist. This would all be solved if we just stop funding Israel and invite Russia into NATO. Russia's never. Anson, you're just being a dick. You're just being a dick. You know that Russia will never join NATO. Well, first of all, NATO will disband before they allow Russia to join, which is weird, but true. And yeah, the funding Israel thing, I don't even give a shit about. How about we stop funding Ukraine at the same time? That's actually more important to me. Stop funding the fucking Ukraine. How about that? Can we do that? I would love that. All right. Anyway, what else we got? We got. I haven't really talked about Iran that much. I've been kind of waiting to see kind of which way it happened, or which way it was going to go, and I just really haven't. I don't know that I have a ton to say about it. Sorry, guys, I got to answer. Give me one sec. I think Glenn wandered off again. Team Russia? Gay. Buddha sent in a super chat. $1.99 from Buddha Customs. Stop funding everyone and fix the USA first. Not one step back. You know what? I fucking agree with that. I don't understand why we keep doing it. Yeah, I've never seen World Radio either, but yeah, it's interesting. That's Anson Knowles. You could both be Anson Knowles for all I know. The fact that Anson said he's working out again is pretty sus, honestly. For the purposes of my debate tonight, if the purpose of these FBI raids on corrupt counties is to force them to fix their voter rolls, and I think he meant ROLLS, is it not a righteous objective? I agree. No, I think so. I think it is. Turkey helps Hamas, but it's in NATO. Ukraine helped new leader in Syria topple Assad. That's true. You're right. That is factually correct. There's a clip. Let's see. I've been clipped. You are right about that. Turkey does help Hamas, but Turkey kind of helps a lot of people. Occupation should be absolute last choice, but strategic military strike should always be considered. Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Void Ace? How you doing, man? Been a minute. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. What's up? How you doing, Jerry Kirkstein 2? Kirkstein? Stein? Whatever. Cool. All right, let's see. It's just my take on the Ukraine war. Yeah, absolutely. We need to stop funding the fucking Ukraine war. I've said that all whole time. And we never actually should have gotten involved in the Ukraine war. Matter of fact, one of the things I liked most about Trump's first term is he kept us out of the Ukraine war, and he kept Putin from declaring war on Ukraine, and he kept Zelensky kind of in check. And now, look at what happened. As soon as Biden got in there, the next thing you know, we got the entire fucking world's blowing up. I'm getting jacked and starting a fitness channel on YouTube, doubling down on the Liver King and Wes Watson style health advice. Bro, be a gym bro. Skipping is crazy. Okay. Work Academics. What's up, man? Just supporting the channel. $2. I saw you there the other day. Aren't you? You're debating somebody soon, aren't you? Work Academics. I saw that you were debating somebody. Should we have gotten involved in World War II? No, we should not have, and we would not have if FDR hadn't engineered it. FDR is a dirty, low-down scoundrel. Biden's term made 80% of America more trans and gay. I mean, I don't have that stat in front of me, but, it is what it is. Why would, we ought not have gotten involved in World War II. We shouldn't have. Sent me a video for the debate tonight because they will say no evidence of fraud. Okay, yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. What's up, Vibe? Trans-America. I think you mean transatlantic. Transatlantic. Signature verification. Very good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Mister's got it going on. I tell you what, if you ever need a resource, Mr. Mister usually has exactly what you're looking for. Yeah, so how do I feel about the shutdown going? I would love the government to get shut down again. Except this time, don't stop at 60 days. Yeah, but he engineered Pearl Harbor. FDR basically engineered Pearl Harbor. FDR shut down the oil. So we were up until how do I feel about the shutdown going? Oh, I've already answered that. Pearl Harbor is hard to ignore. Yeah, sure. I mean, it is hard to ignore. However, when we look at Pearl Harbor, what we need to understand is FDR had our ambassadors and representatives in Japan basically double dog daring Japan to attack us without being overt, right? Basically insulting the Japanese at every turn. We shut off the supplies of fuel and oil that we were sending to Japan, which they desperately needed. And that was really the last straw. That's why they attacked us, is we shut down. We were selling them oil and fuel, and they have, they needed that. And once we did that, that was an issue for Japan. And then Japan was basically decided that they were going to come after us. At that point in time, Japan was not supporting Hitler. At that time, now they did kind of, but Hitler hated the Japanese. I mean, the beginning of our getting involved in World War II was absolutely engineered by FDR. If anybody that says different has no idea about World War II at all, and I can't have an intellectual conversation with you, because it's just intellectually dishonest to say anything otherwise. FDR wanted the U.S. to be in the war. And part of that was he really, really wanted to jumpstart the American economy again. And the only way that he could see to do that, or pardon me, I shouldn't say he, the military industrial complex, which was left over for World War I and had been kind of kickstarted while we were supplying arms, bombs, various other food, everything else to the European front. We were building Liberty ships like they were going out of style, and yet we still were not involved. We were sidelined, and we were sending all this stuff over there. We're sending, and the companies are making tons of money, and the thing is FDR wanted to enhance it. He wanted to grow that, and he wasn't happy. We were selling airplanes to, look, guys. You guys don't know fuck all about World War II. We were literally selling airplanes to China and providing them with pilots while we were selling fuel to the Japanese. Like we were literally just like taking money from everywhere. We were selling England, and we were selling England a shit ton of equipment and war goods, a lot of food, a lot of oil, a lot of bombs, a lot of everything. Wait, what? Hang on. I'll get into that in a second. I want to finish this World War II thing. And literally, FDR eventually realized that no matter what happened in the Pacific, also the Pacific got really quiet because we've sunk enough of their submarines, and we had the Liberty ships going, and we had enough of a naval presence in the Pacific to, basically our ships were getting through, and it wasn't a big deal. And we started sending stuff to South Africa. I mean, the only way we were going to get in the war is if a massive number of American military died, and that wasn't going to happen in the Atlantic at all. It wasn't going to happen in the European campaign. Yes, it was a Lend-Lease Act, correct. And we were sending pilots over to England, and England was paying our pilots to fly in combat for them. And pilots were doing it because they wanted to go to war, but nobody saw us entering the war at all. Like, we just weren't going to do it until the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. And so the blood is directly on FDR's hands. He's a fucking monster. He should be remembered as a monster. He's the worst president ever, other than Lincoln. And he purposefully sacrificed American lives to drag America into the war where we didn't belong. We didn't belong there. And at the end of the day, we didn't get shit out of it. All we did was get a bunch of dead Americans. And that's it. We didn't keep Japan. We conquered the fucking world, and we didn't keep shit. We conquered the entire world. Right? We conquered the world. We owned Germany. We owned France. I mean, technically we gave it back to them, but we owned France. We owned Germany. We owned Japan. We owned a good chunk of China. And we just gave it all back. Yeah, Nixon was no saint either, but FDR was a fucking nightmare. Mossy Adventure says, and stop the Holocaust. Well, fair enough. Good point. But that would have happened anyway. Because Hitler wasn't going to survive. He went and Hitler's campaign was not going to survive. Okay? It just wasn't. They weren't getting any, they were short on supplies. They weren't getting supplies from basically anywhere. The Italians were getting sick of them and about to revolt. And dumbass decided to go and fight in Soviet fucking Russia, pre-Soviet Russia, in the winter. And half of his fucking troops froze to death. Well, maybe not half. I'm being hyperbolic. Don't be like, it's only 18%. Whatever. And the morale of the troops was insanely low. Insanely low. Insane. His own generals were planning to kill him multiple times. Had we not gotten involved and done D-Day and all of that, what would have ended up happening is the German troops would have been starving. They would have lost so many of them over in Russia that if Hitler had made it through spring, I would have been fucking shocked. But we got involved. We got involved and we went over there and we laid wood to them all. What did we get out of it? We got a bunch of dead Americans. We spent a shit ton of money and we gave them back the fucking land. It shouldn't be Germany right now. It should be fucking America. America East. Yeah, Russia does have a holiday. Yeah. We never would have gotten involved. Hey, what's up, OG? We never would have gotten involved with the Japanese if FDR hadn't engineered that shit. And also, he purposefully withheld information from his own staff so that Americans would die. There's been no other president in the history of the country that has been so bad as FDR. I mean, even for a communist, he was fucked up. I know all you leftists admire that fucker, but start really digging into the reality and what actually happened to get us into World War II, and you'll be like, fuck that son of a bitch. FDR was a piece of shit. A stain on the Roosevelt name. Yes, the majority of World War II, they were drafted. Yeah, not even Biden. Biden doesn't hold a candle to FDR. FDR was an actual fucking communist. He admired Stalin. He admired him. Thought he was a good dude. It's righteous bro. Fuck that guy. All right, so I there was something else. Somebody did something, and I said I'd address it. And oh yes. All right, so apparently. It's funny. FDR admired Stalin openly, but when Fuentes says it, he does it. Says he does it. It is a major issue on the left. You're gonna have to walk me through that a little bit, Anson. But so apparently, guys, if you don't know, apparently Mikey got a strike. Apparently, there's a company that's buying up the rights to videos and striking. Channels that do video reviews and things like that. They're trying to get the name of the company, but if you do video reviews or you use, you're reviewing other people's content, or news articles or news stories. One of the reasons I don't do that is because I don't ever want to get a strike like that. So, yeah, I don't want to. It just seems like a bad plan. Yeah. Yep. I got you. So FDR admired Stalin openly, but when Fuentes says he admires Stalin, it is a major issue for the left. Yeah. Why don't you guys? Why don't you lefties admit that FDR is a piece of shit? Why don't you guys admit that? Why don't you admit that? OG, if you're still around, dude, I can throw you a link. You can jump up, restream it to your, and we can chat. But that's okay. My Twitch guys stopped talking. Especially mainstream. Yeah, I'm sure it's like if you're I don't know whose videos, I don't know if they're news companies or whatever, but if you're a review channel reviewing news and articles and things like that, be careful because somebody apparently is buying the rights and striking channels. So just be aware. Don't do that. Be careful out there. Don't get a strike. Don't get a strike. It's bad. It's all bad. All right, what else is there to talk about today? We got a lot. Honestly, we have a lot. We have a lot. Have you noticed FDR was everything they've accused Trump of? Absolutely. Actual internment camp for U.S. citizens. Packed the Supreme Court for real to get around the Constitution. 3 terms. He was also a communist. He also literally planned and used American soldiers' lives to get us into a war, which is insane. That's crazy. And the lefties out there will stop. Once I start talking and they understand that I do know what I'm talking about with FDR, they all shut up. Nobody wants to argue about FDR in this way because they know I'm right. He's a fucking weirdo. Think mainstream might be cracking down because YouTube content creators are making them look bad? Probably. I mean, I wouldn't deny that at all. I think there's probably some truth to that. Judging by body count, only Stalin was more evil than the Austrian painter. That's true. Stalin is the Lily Phillips and Mao is the Bonnie Blue of communism. Fair. I will allow that. That's fair. That tracks. That tracks. The rest of the week, guys, we're going to be doing, obviously we'll be talking about the issues that come up through the week. Tonight, I will be on Prime Kai. We'll be debating. I'm going to read the prompt. Where the fuck? I had it up. Sorry, guys. I had it up. Give me a second. I'll get it. I get it back. Where the fuck? There it is. All right. So on Wednesday, the FBI conducted a raid against the Fulton County Elections Office in Atlanta, Georgia. This was part of Trump's ongoing probe into alleged irregularities in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Critics have said this is an attempt to intimidate voters for the upcoming midterms. Some say this may even be part of a plan to wrest control of strategic counties from local authorities and hand it over to either federal or friendly Republican state leaders. That's insane. That is hilarious. I got to know who is saying that. I always like it when they use these prompts where it says some say, because I know that nobody actually fucking said that. Anyway, am I in support of this investigation? Yes. Should the government be using such tactics? Absolutely. Are the fears of local election officials valid? If they did something wrong, yes, absolutely. You're going to get exposed, and you should get fucked up over it. If you didn't do anything wrong, why are you scared? Why are you scared, bro? Why are you scared? You didn't do anything wrong. Why are you scared? Is this an example of Trump being a sore loser? No. I think that there's definite signs of election irregularity, and I cannot believe anybody doesn't want to get to the bottom of it. I want to get to the bottom of it. If Trump's wrong, he's wrong. But if he's right, then there's something fucked up in Denmark, and we need to root out that cancer. Do you think that there was 2020 election interference that changed the outcome of the race to begin with? I'm undecided. That's why I need more information. Looks like I'll have this one in the bag, folks. I will have it in the bag. I think mainstream may be cracking down because YouTube content creators are making. Okay, sure. He wants the SAVE Act to pass. Which one's the SAVE Act? Let me look at it. Safe or saved? Yes. Trump wants the SAVE Act, which is to secure our elections. Yep. Easy win for me. I think it will be. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be a cakewalk because they're going to spurg out a lot and they may mute me a bunch. But honestly, I think it'll be really good. So yeah, I think it's going to be fine. So. Yeah, I just looked it up, Mr. I remember now that it took me a minute to get the SAVE Act placed, but I now remember what it is. So easily done. Very good, my man. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, I don't know what arguments could you possibly have? Any of the lefties that are still listening, which they may have run off once they figured out that I'm not an idiot. Any of the lefties still listening, why would you not want these election records vetted properly? Why is it that every single time that somebody wants to vet these records, you guys don't want to even hear about it? Like it's like you're in the why bother? I'm very curious about that. Trump does all this foreign intervention nonsense to make me dislike him. Then he goes and makes the left cry by enforcing immigration laws. I hate to love Trump. Yeah, I get that. I'm kind of in the same boat, right? Like initially I really liked Trump, right? I've always kind of thought, I've read his books. I've paid attention to him over the years when he was just a real estate guy, a mogul, if you will. And I kind of, I've just paid attention to him, just, nothing big. And then, then he ran for office. I wasn't even that hot on him when he was running for president, because he had already tried to run on the Democratic ticket a few times and, of course, couldn't make it. But it was when they went after him so vigorously that I was like, what? Why is it that what is the left so afraid of with this dude? Like, why is it that of all the people that they could go after and want to make look bad and all of that, why, what is the problem? Why do these people just hate this guy so much? And the more I dug into it, the more I understood that he has enough money to tell them to go fuck themselves, right? He literally, he has fuck you money. He just doesn't care. I think he made some tactical mistakes in underestimating how vindictive these bitches are. But he's more or less used to dealing with businessmen. So, I don't think he really expected the nonsense he got in his first term. I think Tulsi Gabbard was there in case there's evidence of foreign influence. That'd be interesting. And so I love how the left absolutely loved Donald Trump. And I somewhere I have the clip of what is that bitch's name? I can picture her. Man, I'll think of her name. Whoopi Goldberg. So I still have somewhere the clip of Whoopi Goldberg talking about how great a human being Donald Trump was and how kind he was and how he was so helpful to everyone and blah, 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 basically doing everything except, literally giving a blowjob on the spot to Donald Trump because he was such a humanitarian. He helped so many people. He was such a good guy. He did so many great things. And all of you fucking liberal sons of bitches, all of you were his best buddy until he ran on the Republican ticket. And that's actually why I voted for him the first time. The first time I voted for him because it drove liberals absolutely insane. Insane. And I just couldn't figure out why. Like what? Why is he your bestest buddy yesterday, but today, get him out of here? Why is that? It's very interesting. Yeah, I actually agree with you, Mr. Mister. In reality, the left are losing ground bad. I can prove it too. Virginia, despite getting a new governor, redistricting does not take effect until 2027. That's true. That's accurate. What's up, Mikey Balls? I heard you got a strike, man. That's too bad. That's rough, man. That's rough. So, but yeah, I'm really interested. Look, I know that you're still lurking, lefties. I know that you're still out there, and you're just sitting there, and I'm right. You know that all you fuckers love Trump as long as he was just the millionaire contributing to campaigns. But once he decided to take a hand in the game, oh, now he's 4 different kinds of fucked up. You know. So, you know, fuck all y'all, honestly. Fuck all the leftists, because you guys literally were willing to vote for, and assuming that you even voted, because I'm not even sure that everyone that says they voted actually voted. I think they're just claiming it to be cool. But if you did, and you voted for Biden in the last election, it's absolutely insane that you did so. I mean, the guy couldn't even fucking walk. He didn't leave his damn basement for months. That was insane. Yeah, it's an agency that bought the rights to a clip and then delete everyone's video that contains that clip to scrub it from the internet. Luckily, it's just a strike and not a demonetization. Absolutely, man. Good job, buddy. And I would appeal that shit as a strike. I mean, how could you know, right? Like, you had no way of knowing. So the lefties have gone quiet. They don't have shit to say about this because I know I'm fucking right. You know, and his tariffs are working. They all bitched about the tariffs. Every single fucking Democrat I know is, the tariffs are going to be terrible. Oh, they're going to fuck America. Oh, American jobs. Oh, American, we won't be able to afford things at Walmart anymore. Oh, no. Yeah, fuck all y'all. You didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Right now, China's economy, especially in coastal cities where they do a lot of import-export, China's economy is bad. They literally have people that used to be CEOs 6 months ago driving fucking Uber. Okay? You dumb sons of bitches. You don't understand how the world works. You don't understand how tariffs work, and you're unwilling to learn. That's actually my problem with leftists. While I will sit here and say, oh, they really then? Well, teach me, educate me. Help me understand your point. Help me understand where you're coming from, because I don't understand. I don't know that. Make sure that I understand. Just like I don't know anything about fucking teenage girl beauty pageants, but I know a guy that does, and I got him. I said, hey, come here a minute. Help me out. What am I missing here? Oh, yeah, they walk around half naked all the time. Okay, cool. Good enough. Although he didn't say they did half naked. He said older, but whatever. None of you guys will actually admit that you're wrong. You vote third party every time. Well, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, Simply Steve. I like you. You're listening to the show. You're here. You know, you're adding to my numbers, and you're helping out. You're a very helpful human being, Simply Steve. But you're fucking wrong. Even Anson Knowles, the guy who is literally a monarchist, will tell you that you're fucking wrong, if he's being honest. And there he is right there. Anson Knowles says, win third party, down with the system. But he knows it can't win. And he's never voted third party in his life, guaranteed. And if he did, he was high when he did it. So the strike will be removed in 90 days. That's awesome, dude. Good on you, brother. Good on you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we aren't talking about what ought be. Yeah, Anson voted for Trump 3 times. Just like me. That was just the last election. That's funny. Probably true. Yeah, I just don't understand the leftists at all. And I'm going to go back to this, to what I was watching last night. So I don't normally get to catch other people's live content, right? Like I can go hang out at OG's. I can go hang out on somebody's stream for a few minutes, and I gotta go. I got shit to do. Like today, soon as this show ends, I may even end, 10 minutes early or something. I got to run far away. And I got to go do some stuff to help my mom out. Remember, my mom had a stroke. She's doing much better. She's more or less able to live on her own, but I got to go help her with some stuff because, not 100%. So I just don't have time to watch other people's content. I wish I did. But yesterday, I was able to watch 80%, 90% of the Brian Shapiro. Well, maybe not that much. I was able to watch a good percentage of the Brian Shapiro versus Andrew Wilson debacle. Now, Andrew did exceptional. As always, Andrew was the class of the field. Shapiro is insane. He literally kept making the same exact point over and over and over and over again. That was wrong. It's just wrong. And so I can't, I don't know what else to say about it. Like while he was not technically lying, he was regurgitating things that are not known to be true. And he didn't understand any of it. He was just literally going off of what him and his leftist buddy sat around in their little circle jerk on over the weekend and talked about, right? Like he didn't actually have any factual information. When asked for factual information, he would just start talking about his feelings and how you can't ignore all of this circumstantial evidence. Well, actually, that's exactly what I'm supposed to do. I am supposed to ignore circumstantial evidence when I'm in a debate. That's exactly what I'm supposed to do. I'm dealing with facts and logic, not circumstantial evidence, which is irrelevant. And he would just talk to Andrew about this stuff, and Andrew would shoot him down, and then he would shoot him down again, and he would shoot him down again, and over again. It was crazy. It's insane. It's insane. Just absolutely ludicrously insane. I left for like an hour, went and had dinner, talked to my wife, hung out with my kids, came back. He's still repeating the same exact points that were wrong the first time, and he's still repeating them over and over and over again. Just over and over again. Like for some reason he wasn't, he just didn't understand it the first time. It's crazy. Best explanation of the left is one, TDS. Yes, there's a shit ton of TDS. Like I used to joke about it, but now that shit's fucking real. Hate America? Maybe. Emotional people, maybe, with good intentions being manipulated. Yes. It's all about the emotion. It's all about, I feel this, I feel that, it's just, you can't ignore the whispers. You can't ignore what somebody said. So, and this is how something like Trump said this thing with, in the locker room, right? Or whatever. And or Trump has locker room talk with somebody just bullshitting and is taken as truth, as fact, even though there's no proof of it. Never happened. It is what it is. Call Me GL says, at least American values. I agree there 100%. What's up, Call Me GL? I'm not familiar with a bunch of people who are in here today, so I really appreciate you dropping by and hanging out. If you like the show, consider dropping a like and hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit the notifications because for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't always notify people when I go live. ICE protests in Michigan keep getting bigger. That's true. Protesting in places where ICE isn't. That's true. ICE is there. They're just not being very vocal. It was number 2. They hate American values. I'm around from Rob Noor and your DebateCon pre-show. What's up? Awesome, bro. I had a great time doing the DebateCon pre-show. That was wonderful. That was great. I will be debating tonight. I will be debating. Once again, the prompt is, and I always have to read these prompts because they're so fucking ridiculous. And I'm going to use my radio announcer voice now. On Wednesday, the FBI conducted a raid against the Fulton County Election Office in Atlanta, Georgia. This was part of Trump's ongoing probe into alleged irregularities in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Critics have said this is an attempt to intimidate voters for the upcoming midterms. Some say that this may even be part of a plan to wrest control of strategic counties from local authorities and hand it to either federal or friendly Republican state leaders. Are you in support of this investigation? Yes, I am. Should the government be using such tactics? Absolutely. Are the fears of local election officials valid? No, they're not. If they don't have anything to hide, why not pull back the curtain and let us see inside? You're not the Wizard of Oz. Is this an example of Trump being a sore loser? I don't believe so. And I'm actually shocked that Biden didn't do this in the pursuit of truth in the 4 years he spent investigating Trump personally. Do you think that there was 2020 election interference that changed the outcome of the race to begin with? I'm unsure, which is why it's very, very important to have these things happen. We have to have these things happen, guys. We absolutely have to have them happen. There has to be investigations. There has to be clarity. There has to be transparency in all things. If you're against that, I'm not really sure that you belong in the political sphere at all. And now I'll get out of my radio announcer voice and we'll just talk. Ghost says, I just can't stand the schools using kids to protest. Absolutely. Laptops, among other things, being destroyed. That is horrendous. That is crazy. One parent pulled their kid out of school and ended up expelling the kid for the rest of the year. Parents were never notified. What the fuck? That's crazy. Why would you do that? That's insane. Mr. says, Mark Wingate of the Fulton County, Georgia Board of Elections testimony available on YouTube was 150,000 plus ballots never received signature verification. It wasn't Trump or the FBI that started it. Yes, I made that point in the debate with Destiny. Destiny kept running around, kept trying to do an end run around reality by basically saying that Trump was the one that started the allegations of election issues and stolen ballots and all of that kind of stuff. And it just, this is a lie. This is just straight up a lie. It just is. You got booted from Destiny's chat for this. Yeah, I believe that. They definitely don't want the truth to be said. What's up? Marte says he's got a debate against Pisco and another lib on the Preddy shooting, teaming up with Jake Var today. I saw that. I'll offer my prior Leo experience and more against them. Yeah. Pisco can be interesting too. He will spur if you lead him in the right direction. So I saw that. You were doing that. Where are you doing? Is that on Wick's panel? There's video proof of one of the women saying count the double signatures. Yikes. That's a yikes. That is a yikes. I think a lot of the big problem was the massive number of mail-in ballots that people just unquestioningly took. So that was a problem. On tomfoolery? Okay. That'll be good. I mean, Tom's usually pretty straightforward, but he is a leftist, so just be prepared. He's not as bad as Wick. He is absolutely not as bad as Wick. Did you guys see the thing with Pisco, Wick, and Rob Noor? Did you guys see that? It was I keep using the word insane, but it was so Wick, buddy, what is going on, my man? He literally says to lie to the police, which I don't know if you guys know this. If an officer of the law says, do you know where this person is? And you do know, and you say, officer, I don't even know who that is. Or you say, no, they aren't here. Or you say, and knowing the full time that they're on the other side of the door, or you say anything. Basically, if you lie to an officer while they're conducting their legal business, that's called obstruction. It's literally obstruction. And they will arrest you for that shit. He did say obstruct, and then he tried to walk it back. So I don't know what obstruct is. Dude, he literally told his audience to commit crimes. It's insane. I keep using the word insane today. It's insane. It's insane. It's not logical. The only thing that you are allowed to say is, I do not speak to law enforcement. I do not answer questions. Yes, that's correct. Wick needed a timer for Andrew Wilson debate. He quoted Hegel in relation to Christianity. He got exposed, very unprofessional and ridiculous claims. Yeah, look, I actually like Wick. I think he's not a bad guy. You know, I think he's probably okay, but he's not professional. He's not usually correct. And he says things that I believe that he knows there's not correct all the time. So, but yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy to watch. Literally telling your audience to lie to police is crazy. And then he walked back and said, well, just don't talk to him. Don't interact with him. Well, yeah, that you can do. That's not obstruction. But if you lie to a cop, no, officer, he's over there when he's hiding right behind you. And the thing is that ICE is good enough that they'll catch you. They'll catch you in that lie. And even though you may get off, you may not actually go to jail for it, or may just pay a fine or something. The fact is, it's going to be there on your permanent record. Yeah, I was watching that and I was like, this is crazy to watch. Like, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. All right. So what else we got? I'm going to have to get out of here a little bit early today. What else have I got really quickly before I have to wrap up for the day? I really can't stress enough how the left is just reaching to try and tie DJT into some kind of pedophilia or whatever. And I got to tell you, it's just not a good look for them, because they keep reaching, but what they're coming out with is air. None of this stuff is real. It's not real, right? And the best example of that is Katie Johnson. I'm going to refresh your memories one more time. I'm going to tell the story. Back in 2016, Trump's about to get sworn in. The election's over, or is going on, is coming to a close. I guess he wasn't about to get sworn in, but close. 2016, Katie Johnson supposedly gives a affidavit saying that Trump, when she was 13, abused her. Goes to court. Pardon me. It starts making its way through legal channels. Once it got to the point where she was going to have to, first of all, drop the alias and make an actual written legal statement. Okay? That if turned out to be a lie, then she, I assume, is actual female, but I don't know. Nobody knows. That's the point. Nobody knows. Once it got to the point where it was going to go in front of a judge, where it was going on the record, you could be sued for perjury. You could go to jail for perjury. All of these things started happening. Once it hit that point, poof, she disappeared. She disappeared. It all got dropped because she disappeared. She disappeared. Now, various people have hypothesized about what happened. You know, the judge threw it out. There was a settlement. You know, I've heard rumors of a settlement reached between Trump and this fictitious person, which I don't believe at all, because if there had been such a settlement, it would have been used in the whatever her name is, what the fuck, the civil case. Had there been a settlement between Trump and this woman, it would have been used as evidence in the court case with the lying ass bitch, and it wasn't, and we know that it wasn't, and therefore it cannot possibly exist. It just logically, it doesn't track that it exists at all. There's no statement anywhere. So that goes away every now and again. Eugene Carroll, thank you. Eugene Carroll. Eugene Carroll, if had there been a settlement in the Karen Johnson case, had there been a settlement in that case, it would have been used against Trump in the Eugene Carroll case. It wasn't, so it can't possibly be a settlement. That is a rumor and absolutely could not happen, right? It can't have happened because it would have been used. It doesn't make any sense that there was that this person was paid off. We fast forward to Trump's going to run, right, in 24. All of a sudden, Katie Johnson is in the news again. Nobody knows who it is. The FBI, as part of its investigation, does everything they can to find the actual identity of this Johnson person and cannot. They can't even verify that this person ever existed. The sworn testimony, which was not sworn testimony, it was simply what she told her lawyer. That story doesn't hold up. It's almost like it was completely made up, much like the Eugene Carroll was just an episode of Law and Order that she literally plagiarized and used word for word, basically. But the leftists have some stupid ass reason where they keep wanting to talk about this, but when every single time they say, well, there was it almost made it to court. It was settled. The case went away. We don't know why they didn't continue forward. Well, I know why, because it didn't exist, because that person was made up, because it was fictitious. They thought that just the idea that he could go to court for SA or they were claiming pedophilia, just the risk of going to court over it would make Trump pull out. But he did not. Trump said, fuck all y'all. I know what I did, and I never did that. That's what happened. And the leftists lose their minds over that. They lose their minds. But you can't fight the law on this. Okay. Now the E. Jean Carroll thing is not a conviction. It is a finding of legal responsibility, basically. He was found responsible for it, not convicted. There's no conviction. There was no penalty. He was simply, he had to pay her some money. It was a civil case. So every time they say he's a convicted felon, I can say, no, he's not. Not for that. He is a convicted felon because of the New York thing, which should be struck down, but that's beside the point. Yes, correct, Ghost. There's no evidence of wrongdoing, unlike Edwards, who tried to run for president. Absolutely, it's true. I'm pretty ready, Admiral Gibbs. We were just talking kind of around it. You want to jump up and gab for a minute? I can throw you a link. I can't stay too much longer though. I got a jet. But if you want to come up for a few minutes, we can do it. I'll just throw it over there. Tap in if you want, bro. I wasn't going to do tonight, honestly. Prime Kai is just, not that entertaining. But we'll see. We'll see. I threw you the link, Gibbsy. He's been on a rage. I bet he thinks that Trump is so screwed with this latest Epstein version that is, he's basically smacking himself in the face with his pecker. So fucking excited. You're in between meetings? Balls. Bullshit. Get up here, man. Yes, that's correct. They basically applied a law the way it never had been and changed all the rules to get that. So, yeah. Which ought have been reversed already, but apparently has not been. But it ought have been. It ought. It ought be. It also opened up Cuomo to old assault suits too. That's true. But Cuomo's never gonna. It's never gonna happen. I mean, I guess it has kind of happened. You're in the truck outside a restaurant babying one of my new account managers, teaching them the Gibbs method of sales. All right, that's fine. All right. Well, I gotta jump out here in about 5 minutes anyway, guys. Anybody else got any really cool questions? Anything they want to talk about or talk to or any of that cool stuff, man? I'm gonna have to. I kind of gotta go do stuff. I gotta run a long errand. It's gonna take me some fucking time. Normally I would go another hour, but today, guys, I'm sorry I can't. And I will be back this evening, and I will be on tomorrow with Kita Bussy, and it's gonna be really great. Unfortunately, I don't know that I'll be able to see Marte's debate because I will be debating, but I'll check it out. Wednesday night, I'm on Wednesday night. We can do something Wednesday. I can't imagine that making a law specifically to affect one person, how is that not unconstitutional and unfair? Law not applied equally, or was Cuomo's accusation the cover for it? No, they really just did it. They just did it for Trump. Cuomo can be tried under it, but it's on. I don't know. Maybe they have, but I don't remember. So yeah. I don't know about Cuomo. I don't know if Cuomo's been tried under it. He can be, because he's got some serious issues too. But yeah. All right. All right, all you malcontents out there in Radio Land, all you guys who are just torn up, angry, just pissed off. What you got to remember is
everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that. You can do it. Shh. Shut up. And shut the fuck up.
Yes. Just shut the fuck up sometimes. The AG ran specifically. Yes, that's true. And she has been in and out of court about that. Now, I don't know what the disposition of that is, but definitely that is that's crazy. Carol is a nut. That's true. It is true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to get out of here. I've got a long errand to run, and I need to make it back in time to pick up my kids and do some stuff, and then make the show tonight. So I've got a busy rest of the afternoon going on. I'm going to raid you guys over to OG, the Orthodox guy. And I'll pop over there for a minute myself. If you guys haven't already, please like and share the stream and be cool. Have a great rest of your day. And I will catch you all later tonight when we're debating over on Prime Kai. We'll see you at 8 o'clock and have fun.